Hello and welcome back to Random City Sports Ballers. A friend of mine told me about a topic that he would hope that I would have talked about, and I'm going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about mock drafts. What's the importance of a mock draft? Why would you do a mock draft? Well, I like to do mock drafts because it helps me understand average draft position a little deeper. I can look at it, but if I'm actually in a draft, I get a feel for how everything's going to go each time. So I'm going to look for, one of the things you do when you're doing mock drafts, you want to make sure it's the same number of players that are in your league. So if you're doing a 10-player league, but you do an 8-player draft, that's not going to help you. You're not going to understand what's going on. You want to do the same number of how many are in your league. So I'm in a Yahoo Public Pay League, and there are 12 teams in those. So I'll do the next 12-team league. And to make it, they're giving me 4th. I could take 12th if I want to make it difficult. Okay, but I'm going to be 4th, it looks like. So for this mock draft, it starts in 14 minutes, but what we're going to be doing is paying attention to what I can create. From this position, I'd say Trey Turner, Acuna, Judge will all be gone, so I'll end up with Jose Ramirez from the 4th spot. Now, if it goes a little different than that, that's just going to happen in every draft. It's not going to be exactly how you expect, but try to anticipate. So I'm expecting Jose Ramirez to come back to me at first, and if he doesn't, then I'll start looking at Rodriguez, or I'll pay attention to what's going on with the draft. So we'll come back to this recording in a little bit. So mock drafts. It's good to do enough mock drafts that you get an idea of what it's like at the beginning, middle, and the end of the draft at a minimum. It's best if you get a mock draft in from every possible position. So do one from 1st, do one from 12th, do one from 8th, do one from 4th. Whatever helps you get the hang of it. It's best if you do it from every position, but after about 7 rounds, people are really starting to reach deep for players. Some people are after closers and all that. But doing a mock draft can allow you, if you stay to the end, can allow you to figure out what you're going to do with all of those final 13 or 14 picks. From pick 10 on, you figure out, I'm going to grab, say, Brandon Drury in the 15th round, or I'm going to grab, I don't know, maybe you've got a specific reliever in mind, like an Adam Ottavino or a Karinchak, and you want to get them with the 22nd pick and 23rd pick. You know what that part of your draft is going to look like if you do enough mock drafts. The finishing part of the draft, when everybody else is going crazy trying to figure out who they're going to get, you should already have everything figured out because you've done enough mock drafts to understand what's happening at the end. So that's what mock drafts are all about. Getting better at the draft, everything slows down. You can become more relaxed. You have an idea of what's about to happen. You don't have to panic about who you're going to pick because you've kind of already figured it out. So get you a mock draft or 2 in there. Make sure, trust me, it only takes about a half hour to do a mock draft. This one's going to start in a few minutes, and I swear in real time, it'll probably take about 30 to 35 minutes is all that a mock draft takes, because each pick, you only get 30 seconds to make your pick. So people aren't, waiting around. And a lot of these players, they're going to go straight to auto draft after about 3 picks. They just want to see what they can put together with their first 3 picks and then let auto draft the rest. Well, they're not really learning much. They're learning about their first 3 picks. Maybe they've got the rest of their draft already figured out. They don't need to practice the rest of it. I don't know what the motivation is, but there'll be a lot of these players that are just out of this draft, and it'll happen very quickly. They'll just be gone from the draft. Another important thing that I may not have mentioned, don't invest too much into the mock draft report card, okay? I don't put too much faith in that. Things are going to happen. Players get injured. Players have up and down years. The mock draft report card doesn't have a sixth sense or an ability to foresee the future. It just knows whether or not it thinks you have a good draft based on whether or not it's a roto or a head-to-head. So don't invest too much into it. I mean, seriously, don't invest too much. Cupcake. Yes, you're back. Hi. I have 3 more minutes, so we're good. Don't you worry. But I don't have snacks for you this time. I have no snacks for you. No pepperoni for you to come begging for. No sandwiches for you to be hoping to get a piece of. Just sitting here. I'm thinking about what do I want to do with this mock draft. And you can also use it not just to see what players are where, but try different theories of your draft. For this one, I'm going to go under a theory that I like using sometimes called pocket aces. In the pocket aces, you take the top 2 pitchers with your top 2 picks, whoever the top 2 pitchers are. Now, I might do a variant on pocket aces, let the pitchers slide in round 1, and then in round 2 and 3, take the 2 best available pitchers. That could end up pretty awesome right there, because I mean, think about what you can put together with that. So let's see how that turns out. I'm going to do that, pocket aces modified to start in the 2nd and 3rd round, and then I'm going to focus on piecing together the best team I can with what's left. I might focus on pitchers. I might end up bringing this one into an army of pitching staff, just an army of pitchers. Like I'm talking 7 or 8 starting pitchers, fill in with some closers and set up relievers, and then just have, all of the bats, maybe 1 bench bat, but just fill in all of my bats and just bring in, I'm going to call this the army of pitchers. That's what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to challenge myself. I have a real draft, a $50 draft coming up 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And I'm going to bring the army of pitchers to life in that draft. It's the first time for this year that I will have brought that draft in. I've done it before. I've done quite well with that type of draft before, and I'm going to do it again here. I'm going to bring the army of pitchers with modified pocket aces. Whew. Unless I'm like 12th pick, then I don't have to modify the pocket aces. That'd be cool. All right, let's see what we end up with. Right here on Random City Sports Ballers, the Army of Pitchers Draft Philosophy.